Hello and welcome to On the Other Hoof. It is now 4 days until the Cheltenham Festival gets started on Tuesday afternoon. We're keeping the countdown going with Imperial Cup Day at Sandown. We also have good supporting cards at Chepstow and Ayr. We're also going to be covering a little bit of Wolverhampton for you guys this evening. We have a full cast of 3 other panel members this evening, which is quite rare for us nowadays. We have the usuals of Callum Liddell and Adam Webb, who's learned how to keep silent tonight. So well done, Adam.
Shut up. Yeah.
That's what I said to you last night.
When we watched it back, it was quite funny. It's just the way I don't. It's like I've done something wrong. Well, I have done something wrong, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you cocked up.
Kind of act innocent, yeah.
And we have a very, very special unwelcome guest for you in the return of Michael Andrews. Well, thank you for confirming you're still alive, Michael.
Yeah. No, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice to be back and grace yourselves with my presence. I'm sure you really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, we actually haven't heard from Michael in the last like 3 months. So literally.
I heard from him on Trials Day where he basically said in my face, "Ha! I got Sapper the Ruhr right. You didn't." Yeah. Cheers, mate.
If Sapper the Ruhr wins the World Hurdle, I will not shut up for a further month or something. But I worked out that this is my first video on the Other Hoof in 2015, I believe. I think the last.
When was your last one?
The last time I think was Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you were on that one, weren't you?
Yeah.
Good times. Welcome back, Michael. We look forward to seeing you again in 3 months' time.
I agree.
Actually, no, you'll probably want to come back for the Grand National Sweepstake, won't you?
Oh, yeah.
Glory Hunter.
Talking of that, actually, just before we go on.
I did get the 1, 2, 3 last year.
Yeah, you did. Talking of that, I'm running it again this year, so if you are interested in joining, tweet me. Don't tweet me on the Other Hoof account, just tweet me at AdamWeb121 to confirm your entry. There will be a prize unlike the Melbourne Cup sweepstake.
There was a prize, an empty bottle.
Davey Brownlow did not get his bottle of lemonade. He's still waiting. Oh.
If there's one thing I've learned about Adam over the last 2 years, it's that he's completely devoid of ability in most sports, and he loves running a sweepstake far too early.
I ran it far too early last year. But
Adam, advertise our Melbourne Cup sweepstake as well while you're there.
Okay, Michael's going to run that, and don't tweet him yet. I like to be organised. There we go.
Yeah.
Save me doing it a week before and running around like a headless chicken when you've got to fill 5 spots.
Yeah, okay, mate. Right, we have some decent racing at Sandown this afternoon, but as always, you can get in touch with us at On The Other Hoof if you want to tweet in to the live show. We'll read out every question and fancy at the end of the show, and hopefully answer every question to the best of our ability. We're going to start off though with the 2 o'clock from Sandown, the European Breeders' Fund William Hill National Hunt Novices Handicap Hurdle Final. A grade 3 over 2 miles and 4 furlongs. Field of 18 runners here, Adam. It's a tough one to get through, but great try. It's been fairly well supported in the market and is fairly well fancied.
He's a horse that me and you both like. I've liked him since, not his debut, but his first one this season at Aintree. He really took my eye in the paddock, and he needed that effort. So I was quite surprised actually to see him take a couple of starts to win, albeit he has raced in good company. I mean, his Newbury run was really good behind Seven Nation Army and Clean Sheet, and Clean Sheet goes to Martin Pipe. Seven Nation Army ran well today behind Sarabad. I think he is your idea of the likely winner. I think the step up in trip will really help him. And he won well at Bangor last time out, beating a nice John Joe Neal newcomer, Headley Lamar, who I think is a horse also to keep on side. Aigle de la Sea is another of these really shrewd purchases by Simon Munier. He buys these really well handicapped horses, and I can see him going close as well, but has he gone up enough in the weight yet? He's won at a bigger price at 25, and I can't believe he's 25. It's Buckhorn Timothy. Now, if you look at his last start, I was really taken with his effort, where he was third behind Arpege Delaney and T for 2, and he travelled really well through that race. And I'm quite surprised that he's 25. So I think that's actually a bit of an insulting price on the horse, because he was bang there going to the second last, and he's just been outclassed by 2 really good horses, and I can see him going really well at a big price. But great try as your winner, and I am going to put up Buckhorn Timothy as an each way selection.
Fair enough. He's a bit high enough in the weights, I thought, with Buckhorn Timothy. Obviously, it was very impressive last time out, but a few of these will have had this as their target for most of the season. Great try, probably being one of those.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But the way he ran last time, I didn't think he'd be as close to them two as he was. So that's why I was really impressed with the effort. And all three of them next season, just watch out for all three of them because they're all going to make really good chases. Especially the winner, I'll take for Len.
Trevor Hemmings has put decent horses in this race in the past, Many Clouds being one of them. He's now well, more than viable Gold Cup contender. Michael, your first race back and on the other hoof for making a winner.
It's difficult. It's a really, really competitive race like this.
Wait, sorry. We knew you as the guy that loved handicaps and always tipped winners in handicaps. So,
I haven't finished what I've got to say yet.
Yeah, it's going to say.
I'm just preluding that in case I don't get the winner, people already knew there was some kind of doubt in my mind. It's a good tactic. I've used it before. I do really like Remy Luck. I thought he's a really nice type in 1-1 for me. I think it was Fontwell last time. But I think the handicapper has reacted a bit harshly considering he's now top weight off a mark of 134. I think that's a bit ridiculous. He's been murdered by the handicapper there. Robbie Rabbit has been over-raced this year. I did think that horse had a bit of potential, but he's been the Hawks have been overzealous with him, in my opinion. Great try, I do really like. But the one I'm kind of leaning towards, who I think has got a bit more experience in some of these, is Hello George. And I think he's run really well in some of these handicaps this season. Considering he's only beaten 8 lengths by Bayon in the Ladbroke, and then he was kind of thrashed by Tifa 2. But I think it was still a good run. Tifa 2 won by 16 lengths, but he still beat Del Arca and some good horses in Heath Hunter and other horses that are a bit more experienced. And I think he's coming up against some more unexperienced types here. I think he could put that to good use. I think the ground less testing will give him advantage as well, and I think that's all I have to say on the matter. None of the last 5 winners have won their previous race, so that's a good stat, as much as you love stats, Luke. But yeah, Hello George for me would be my question. He's about a price of 12 to 1. Go with that.
You come back. First race back, you bring in some useless, meaningless stat.
Yeah, well, I thought I had to start off by annoying you, and I thought that was the best way to go about it.
Some utter garbage has been spoken. I've already kicked you out of this call once. I will do it again. I don't mind that.
I knew you did. I knew it was you.
I mean, it wasn't me, it was someone else. Personally, I really fancy Great Try in this. He looks like a horse that's just going to get better with racing in time, and he's improved across this season. He's bumped into some really nice types, including Bally Bolly. He ran really well last time out. Well, sorry, 2 runs ago, went 3rd behind Clean Sheet, as Adam mentioned. Clean Sheet, more than a viable candidate for Cheltenham next week in the Martin Pie, presuming he gets in. Seven Nation Army ran well enough today at Sandown, and he was put into an easier race last time out at Bangor, but won it really nicely. In fairness, he was more than entitled to win on that occasion. But I think up to 2.5 miles, that's really going to suit him today. Nick Schofield on the saddle for Paul Nicholls. Paul Nicholls, incidentally, has got another horse in the race with Asda May, who would have to have a really good chance. But of the rest, I can see why Aigle Delassie is favourite. He's been progressive in smaller races, but taken a big step up into this type of handicap. He can stay the same sort of way as Great Try is. So personally, for me, there's only one fancy in the race. That is Great Try. It's a really, really tricky handicap, though. I think the main way to go about today at Sandown is to... Well, I usually do a place put on this day, which pays quite well if you can get a few outsiders in. But Great Try for me. For Callum, he's going for...
First at Mayday I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I quite like Chidswell. I'm not fully convinced he's been seen. To be honest, I don't think he's been seen to best effect so far in his races. I know he's been placed on all his last 3 starts, but he's bumped into some pretty decent horses at the same time. Native River and Definitely Ready was behind at Newcastle, and behind Clean Sheet was a horse that I know me and you both like, Luke. I don't think a track like Fakenham will be anywhere like seen to best effect around a track like that. I think around a track like Sandown, and in particular in a more strongly run race on this sort of ground, I think you'll see him to best effect tomorrow. So I like him around 12s.
Yes, fair enough. Chiswell's another one I took into consideration when looking at the race earlier on. The 2:15 at Wolverhampton is our next port of call for the Ladbrokes Lady Wolf Farina Stakes, a fast-track qualifier for the All-Weather Championship day later on this year. It's a listed race over 7 furlongs and 32 yards. Tricky Royale won this last year, is back to defend his crown for Keith Dalglish and Tom Hughes. Callum, this is your sort of racing, really. Tricky Royale.
Sort of racing, really. Tricky Royale, I think it's really hard to weigh up. Obviously, he won last year's race. I was going to say, was the last year, was the Tappeta Surface in by then?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't, was it?
No.
So he's never run on Tappeta.
I think he has.
Yeah, he has.
Lots ago, but yeah.
Where would he have run there then?
At Wolves, we ran a couple of starts ago.
Yeah, he came third to Graphic.
Okay. Alright, so I'm not really... he's always seen as a polytrack specialist anyway. We've put him having run to a serious performance last time out, a seriously good performance when he won over 6 furlongs against Ballista. No problems with 7 either. I mean, he's obviously won over further anyway. I'm just a bit worried that he had a very hard race that day and turned out 9 days later. I think he might not be the same horse, but I think I could probably take him on. Alpha Kira, I can't guarantee she's going to be fit, but she's got a really good turn of foot, so I think she'd be really well suited by a track like Wolves, or particularly on the all-weather. I can see her taking to it really well, so I think she's got a very good chance. Sovereign Debt, I think, has shown he's got a lot of his ability left, so since his return, so he's another to consider, but I think he's quite a hard horse to win with. Intransigent will need the run again, and the rest of them I don't think are good enough. I think I'll go for Alpha Kira, but it's a race to leave tomorrow. I think there's too many question marks about loads of them, so yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing earlier on when looking through the race. Michael, any strong thoughts towards the 2:15 at Wolverhampton?
It's difficult. I do like. I thought the Prescott Improver don't be is really nice, but he's got quite a lot to find, especially if you use Earth Amber as the line through to Tricky Royale. I would want to take on Tricky Royale, although I think he's a really nice horse. And I think the Grey Mirage is probably the one to go for, if not Sovereign Debt. Grey Mirage was beat by Badalini last time. Now gets £8 reverse for that, so I think he's got. He should be beating him at least. But there are other horses in the race. Sovereign Debt I think is really interesting. And if he gets he needs a good ride. He needs a lot of luck in running as well. But he seems to stay on and shoot home and not quite catch up with the winner. So I think he's got a really good chance if he can get there though. And Joe Fanning has got to be clever on him and find the right gaps. And if he can, I think he's got a really good chance. But it's probably kind of all or nothing with Sovereign Debt, or all or just not quite, because he'll get serious traffic problems and be the unlucky horse. But I don't know, it's difficult. It's not a race I'd probably be backing in, but it would be between those two to take on Tricky Royale.
Yes, I think I'd agree. It's not really a betting race. It's a good race from watching aspect. I'll probably give a few clues towards the Weather Championships Day as well. Intransigent is one of those that's already qualified for Weather Championships Day. Came 6th last time out on his reappearance, but me and Callum were saying in that video on that day that he'd probably just need it to come on and really reach race fitness. He again might need it today, as Callum mentioned a bit earlier, but if he does, or if he is now race fit and much fitter than he was on his reappearance, then he should be going much closer here. David Probert didn't really give him too much of a hard time at Lingfield when we last saw him at the back end of February last time out, but before that he was in decent form at the back end of last year. He won a good race at Lingfield 2 runs ago, then third in an even better race when we last saw Lingfield. It could just be that Lingfield's his track. He's run okay at Wolverhampton before, but again I don't think that was in this race last year. I don't think he's encountered the new to Peter surface, so that would be something to take into account about Intransigent. Jamie Spencer also takes the ride as well, which can only be seen as a positive. He does have to give weight away to most in the field, however.
Just a quick one on Intransigent. Balding did say he would need his first 2 runs last time. Just a quick one. That's why I mentioned it. So yeah, he could be talking rubbish, but yeah.
In fact, I'm just trying to find something to fill the airtime in. Don't Be is one that I've been impressed with recently. There's a big step up about 12 to 1. I think that's it. That would be more her chances. Summarised it in the price. I'll put up Intransigent each way, but I really couldn't condone having a bet in this. Adam, anything to save our blushes?
I like Alpha Kira if she's ready, and I think she could be a likely winner. I think she's the best horse in the race. Chucky Royale, the way I look at him is that he is a real proper polytrack horse, and the fact that on Wolves' old, if this was run on Wolves' old surface, I think he'd be a shoo-in, because the performances on that were just sensational. He broke the track record on one occasion. I just think that with Tapita, I just think he'll find it a little bit too quick for him. But Alpha Kira, if she's ready, I mean, she's got some really good form in the book, and that turn of foot she showed at Ascot when she won the soft ground was really impressive. And I don't see her having any issue with the surface, and she probably will go on to bigger and better things this year. I can see her definitely being a group filly, winning some nice races, so she's the one to beat.
Yeah, she's in fantastic form at the end of last season. Back down to Sandown now for the 235. The William Hill Supreme Guaranteed Return Offer Handicap Chase. There were 3 miles and 110 yards. Only 7 runners this time, guys, but Ziga Boy, Michael, is your short enough favourite at 7 to 2, considering he's unseated his rider and been pulled up the last twice.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a strange little race, and I've got actually quite a kind of confident selection in Moss Park. I think he's actually, he's only had let me count the races now. He's only had 8 races. He's won 3 of them. This season, he hasn't got his head in front since February last year. But I think he's been, he was only beaten 7 lengths by Sausalito Sausage over 3 miles on his return to action in October, and then he was beaten by Close Touch, Sega Success, Generous Ransom. They're all pretty decent horses, and I think they're all better than the horses he's racing in this. If we go to the Generous Ransom race, when he was beating 10 lengths last time over 2 miles 5, he was only beaten 3 lengths by Carol's Destria, who obviously went out and won since, and then a horse he beat, Keel Hall, has won a Class 2 next time out. I think it's pretty good form in comparison. I think he'll stay the 3 miles. But he obviously was only beaten 7 lengths by Sausalito Sausage over 7 miles. By the way, over 7 miles, over 3 miles. And by the way, I do know what his real name is. I just can't get away from calling him that. And I think, Gavin Sheehan and Emma Laval, I think they've got a really, really nice chance here. And I don't think the race is the strongest. I think Ballyhee Boy, with his form when he was third to Azure Fly, I think, and then he obviously thrashed Howard's Legacy last time out. I think that's obviously the biggest danger. But I think Moss Park at about 13 to 2 is very much the one to be having here.
Yes, I actually agree with you on Moss Park. I thought last time the step down in trip would be a negative against him, and I think it was. The visor stays on, however. He doesn't look a horse that's 100% straightforward, but visored again over 3 miles, this could bring out a bit more improvement in him. He's not really a horse that travels too strongly through his races, so Gavin Sheehan could be seen to full effect here. Again, it's not a race that I'm really wanting to have a bet in. I think Umberto Dolivate could go well. I kind of get why Ziga Boy's favourite. There's just a few too many question marks about his recent runs to be sort of backing him confidently, especially at that kind of price. One that maybe put up confidently is by Adam, Ciroc is in this race. It's Sandown, Venetia Williams, Brooks
No,
Covers.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
I don't like him.
Didn't he break your nap duck?
He didn't. It was Captain de Savisi who did that.
Second one that did it, yeah.
Rest in peace. He was the second horse though, after another, God knows how many videos, with about another 20. I've been doing alright lately, so.
Yeah.
The nap is in this race actually.
Oh, God.
Give it away. Michael stole the selection. It's Moss Park. I can't get over how big a price he is. It's not a good race, and he is better than that mark for sure. His run on trials day, he caught the eye because he got outpaced, and 2 miles 5 is not his trip. And that race has just worked out unbelievably well, especially compared to the other handicap on the day, which is just a horrible race. Just avoid it. What was that?
That's my fault.
What did you do? Oh, well done, Michael. Sack.
He comes back for one video and completely ruins everything.
He's forgotten that he needs headphones. That's what it is. Anyway, Moss Park. He got outpaced at a crucial stage last time before he stayed on up the hill. And as Michael said, his form is really good. I was half interested that they left him in the 4 miler. I actually thought they were going to go there. 'Cause I thought the slower pace there, with a good amateur on board, would have helped him, and he would have been an outside chance in that. So the fact that they come here with Gavin Sheehan booked, I'm all over him tomorrow, and I can't see anything else beating him. I mean, Zigga Boy, you've got to take into trust that he's recovered from that gruelling race last time out. He travelled well at Boss last, but he just stopped really quickly, and you can forgive a horse that effort, but it's Moss Park all the way tomorrow.
Yeah. When I look at this kind of race, I always think that there's one kind of person that excels and really loves talking about these smaller field handicap chases and testing ground around the likes of Sandown. And that one person is Callum Medell. So Callum, your words of wisdom, please.
I really like Zika Boy, and this is why. No, I actually do rate this horse quite highly. He's been on my radar all season, to be honest. When he won at Wincanton, I was really impressed by him. He looks a proper stayer, but then again, when he steps up to that marathon trip, I don't think he sees it out, to be honest. I mean, when he unseated at Newbury, he was still travelling pretty well, but he was just coming under the cosh, and I wasn't really sure if he was going to be winning it, because I just think of that trip, slight, 26.5 furlongs, I think it just slightly stretches him. So, slight drop down back to 3. On ground, he will go on. I mean, he's effective on any ground for me. Last time, you can totally rule that race out because, well, 1 finished, 2 finished, and he was travelling really nicely, and just stopped dead. When his stamina just left him. So yeah, I really like him tomorrow. I think he's only £7 higher than when he won at Wincanton, so I think he could win that against some pretty modest rivals. I certainly think he can rate higher, more higher than most of these.
You did good at forming words then.
Yeah. I'm struggling with that today. I struggled on the radio earlier forming words. I've had enough talking.
Do you remember your notes today?
Yeah.
It's okay. Callum, we're back to York at the Fish now, the 250 at Wolverhampton. For the Ladbrokes Lincoln trial, 1 mile and 141 yards. Callum, the Lincoln's coming up soon.
Is it?
Is it? I've completely lost interest in everything now.
No, to be honest, I'm quite excited for Cheltenham, so, we'll worry about that first before the Lincoln, but let's just whet the appetite somewhat.
That was said so emotionally. I'm really excited for Cheltenham.
Yeah,
Thanks, Michael.
I am.
Cheers, Michael. The thing that you guys don't see at home, Michael's been muted himself for the last 5 minutes, and he's just unmuted himself to come in and say that one thing. Now he's just backed out again. No, I've done my bit. That's my little call-in right there. Back to the Lincoln trial. We have 10 runners here. Solar Deity is the top weight. One of the shorter price ones, Callum, that you backed last time is Mind Your Own Business at 4-1. I think he's actually the outright favourite of the field. You thought he'd been a bit harshly treated for his last win, though?
Yeah, I think he's been really harshly treated. £7 rise for a race where he was always well positioned in a slowly run affair and simply was just always perfectly placed. I think he was a little bit flattered, to be honest. So £7 rise, although I do think he could rate higher in the future, I think is a little bit harsh. And Halation, I don't know. I've not got a strong fancy in this race, to be honest. Halation, I thought won quite cosily at Lingfield last week, and with Marcon taking off 7, and him only going up £6, and it kind of negates that. But I'm not fully convinced he. I don't know. I'm really struggling tonight. Yeah, what do I say? I'm not sure the pace will be that strong. I think the two Mick Appleby runners will, the Mike Murphy and the Mick Appleby runner will go quite fast, but apart from that, I don't think there's that much pace. So I think some of the horses like Melvin the Grey and Halation might not get the truly run race that they require. If they do, I think they're the two to beat. But I'll go for Halation, but again, it's not a strong fancy, and I won't be having a bet.
Yeah, I've followed Halation for quite a while now, and the one thing that I thought he needed before his last race was a really strong pace that he can travel into the race really easily off. But they didn't go overly fast last time. They didn't go slow. They just went and fairly even gallop, which I thought was against him, but he picked them up fairly easily. He never really does a great deal out in front either, with his Sandown Sandown win last year behind aside. But I'm not sure what to make of him now. He disappointed at Wolverhampton at the back end of last season. That could have just been because he did have a long season last year. But
I don't think I don't think he really saw the trip out. That was my initial, because I backed him on that occasion, thinking that he'd improve for the trip, and he didn't. And to be honest, I think tomorrow though, 8.5 furlongs round Wolves, I think it's going to be much better suit. He's going to be much better suited by it than a mile around Lingfield. So
I'm not sure if it was this. I'm not sure if it was the stamina last time at Wolverhampton, just because he never really got into the race. Like, he never did look threatening. I personally would be happy to put it down to he just had a long season and he had enough, because he did go away for the season after that. But I don't know.
no, he wasn't. He hadn't had that many runs though. Like, it was hardly.
It was more the duration of the season that he was on for. So I don't know. Again, it's a really tricky horse to try and work your way through. I don't know. Yeah, I would put up. I will put up Elation, who, as Callum mentioned, went up £6 for his last win. Tom Marquand takes off a very valuable 7. He's impressed me quite a bit this season in the saddle. As for the rest, I'm not 100% sure. Pearl Nation, if it can be made into more of a stamina test, and he'll be right there. He's improved so much lately. Billingsgate is another interesting one, like Halation. He may need a strong run gallop, which
he's quirky for me. He's quirky, Billy.
I don't think he's going to get that tomorrow either.
He ran very poorly at Medan last time. Really bad run.
Yeah.
I know he's only beaten 5.5 lengths, but he finished second last.
Right. Okay.
Or last. He was actually last. Yeah.
Right. Well, that leaves me by default with Elation then. I'll take Elation. Michael.
Yeah, it's not very good when you're being left by default on a horse, and I think that's the point. It's very kind of, they're all quite closely matched. You can't work out how the race is really going to be run, and I kind of didn't really come to any very great conclusion. Obviously, a Sovereign Debt runs well earlier on. That's the full boost, but Mind Your Own Business. I think Mind Your Own Business is a really nice horse. I hope he wins. Elation's obviously got to be the biggest danger. I'm not going to be very more interesting than that, to be honest. I think the market's pretty much got it spot on. There's only, a point, 2 points between the top 3, and I think those are the ones you should be. In fact, between the top 5, between Mind Your Own Business and Billingsgate. So I think it's very tough. I won't be having a bet. If you've pushed me, I'll go Mind Your Own Business. I think it's nice.
Yeah. Adam, have you got any strong fancy in the race, please?
No, it is such a difficult race to try and get your head round. If, as you said, I think Pearl Nation has improved so much recently, and if he does go out and try and make it a stamina test, it could really help him. But then if he does try and do that, he's setting the race up for others behind him potentially. But it's a really difficult race. If I had to put one up really tentatively, it would be Mind Your Own Business. Yeah, the £7 rise looks harsh, but he still looks an improver. So he could, £7 could be harsh, but then again, it could be right, and he could still improve off that mark. So very, 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 very tentatively, I'm pushing myself out the room as I say this. Mind Your Own Business, so further away.
It is really tricky, isn't it? Yeah, back down to Sandown, I think, is the best way for us to go. Before we do that, though, we'll mention that if you do want to get in touch with us at On the Other Hoof tonight, any festival fancies for you, if you've got any questions for us regarding the festival or tomorrow's racing at all, you can tweet us at On the Other Hoof. We'll read out every question at the end of the show. 3:10 at Sandown, though, is the William Hill Imperial Cup Handicap Hurdle, a grade 3 over 2 miles and 110 yards, and there is a £100,000 bonus put up by William Hill if you can win this race, and then a race at Cheltenham next week, which a few of these will be looking to do. They do have entries, obviously, in this race, and many entries at Cheltenham next week. Calypto's been one of the more fancied ones throughout the week, Adam, although off 11 stone 5, he's not going to have an easy task.
I can't have Calypto tomorrow, if I'm being honest. His Betfair run, yes, he did get too far back, but then most of them were anyway, and the distance that Activia will put between him and Calypto, I don't really know what to make of the horse now. He'll go chasing next year, and I've got no doubt he'll do well if that's fair, but that way, they're obviously going to go for the bonus, they're obviously going to run here and they go for the county, but it seems a bit weird when he's going to get a £5 penalty for winning this. I have a question for Michael. I'm going to name one. There's 2 horses that have done the double. Gaspara was one of them. Can you name the other horse that did the double?
Buena Vista.
Nope. It's a horse that... That's an awful guess. I'll give you
Why
a
is it
hint.
always Buena Vista?
I always like Buena Vista. He could have
Well,
done it.
no, I'll give you a clue. It's a horse you really, really love. And it was ridden by McCoy and trained by Pipe.
It wasn't Blowing Wind, was
It
it?
was Blowing Wind.
Really?
It was.
Wow.
Good story as well. He won
Brilliant.
the bonus. He won the bonus, and then Peter Deal said, "Oh, we bought him as a chaser, so everything he did over hurdles was a bonus." So they picked up a 50k bonus for same hurdling.
I love story time with Adam.
How
I
funny.
know. Story time with me is always a good time. Anyway, the selection I'm going to put up, I'm going to put 2 up because it's such a really good race, and there's so many you can put in the shortlist. But Arzal went straight into my notebook after he was running the bet there, where he was severely hampered, and he also has other things as well that really caught the eye. One at the start because he got left at the start, and he's a front runner as well, so he was far back, pushed back anyway. Then was pushed back when Chieftain's Choice took a heavy fall, and he was last leaving the back straight. And Paul O'Brien that day had to actually give him a smack because he looked like he was going to pull himself up and lost all interest. But he got him back in the race, and he flew home. And to finish as close as he did was a really good effort. And I think he's well handicapped with his £7 claim on. The other one I like is Thistlecrack, who, as I said last night, he ran in that novice hurdle against Order Abchow, Value at Risk, Vago Collonge, and then he went to Ascot, was given a brilliant ride by Ruby Walsh, who was really patient with him, and he picked off horses through staying. And the hill at Sandown, I know it's 2 miles, but I really see it suiting him tomorrow. And those 2 would be the 2 that I really like. Sunbuckle very nearly made the shortlist. He was also in that race on Trials Day. He didn't look to see out the trip that day. No doubt he'll get further in time. He'd be the 3rd on my list. Biduri, he is interesting, but the thing is, he's been winning these small events. Is he well handicapped enough off 140? And then the second question I'd ask, if he won this, would he go for the Fred Winter off top weight? Because I think there are some very well handicapped horses in that, and I couldn't see him giving weight away to some in that race. West Wizard, oh bless him, he keeps bumping into one every single time, and he's a type probably tomorrow that will still bump into something, and we'll see him in that novice hurdle at Kempton again in November, and that'll be an interesting thing. Any others? Casino Rustico, I backed last time out, and I'm not sure how he would have gone when he came down 2 out, and I think he's best left tomorrow. Any others? Can't have Wicklow Grave. What is the fascination with this horse? I really don't know. He's not done anything since last season to suggest he's even come back to anywhere near the form that he showed in the Supreme. And soft ground for him tomorrow is a big no-no. He's got no chance. Probably goes and wins now, but he's got no chance. Any others? Hint of Mint is a big price as well. I can't believe he's 40 to 1 with Lizzie Kelly booked up, and he's got some interesting form as well that would give him a really good chance here.
Yeah, Adam, you've had 4 more and you've named all of them.
Okay, I'll name Maven Sour's a big price as well, but
no. Why would you say that, Michael?
that's the last thing I was going to say. Oh, and Zip Top's got no chance. Arzal's your winner. Anyway, Zip Top has got no chance. Arzal's your winner. Each way Thistlecrack, Sunbuckle, I'm in an hour and about because he's got a really big chance. It's a really good race, and it's making up for the last race where I didn't really have a strong opinion.
Well, Adam has successfully managed to name 27 of the 24 horses running
Yay.
in the Imperial Cup. Well done, Adam. And well done, Michael, for egging him on to do it.
No worries.
Great to have you back, buddy.
Should have done a runner-by-runner preview, shouldn't I?
God. I've lost all will to live now. Michael, any opinion on the Imperial Cup?
Yeah, I'll stick to 3. I must admit, I thought Calypto, I didn't think 11 stone 5, considering what he showed last year and considering he pretty much could have been a lot closer in the Triumph if it wasn't for his saddle adjustment. I don't think 11 stone 5 is horrific weight, considering he has the top horse keeping him at that weight. I think that's pretty decent, actually, and I'd be, against some of these horses, a lot of everything else has got to prove, especially when you consider horses like West Wizard in comparison to him. And I think 8-9 to 1 is actually quite a decent price, so I wouldn't put you off him. A massive price, in fact, one of the big outsiders. I thought Wet Raven's Tower at 50 to 1 was just slightly ridiculous. I don't think he's going to get I don't think he's going to win, but he could sneak a place. He's back to a pound over his last winning mark. I think the ground will be better today, which will suit him. First time blinkers as well. And when you're considering it was 6 in the Fred Winter last year, on pretty fast ground, and I think faster ground is really going to suit him. It's 10 stone 5. I know it's the same weight as Zip Top, and if you want to have a little each way, it's 50-1. It's worth it. My actual selection though would be Some Buckle, who I really really like, and I mainly like him because of Glingerburn, because that horse is been so impressive. He was only beaten a short head by him at Doncaster a couple of starts ago. Then when you go to Trials Day, such a good race. I really, really like the quality of that race. Waldo Abkeo, I think that's how you pronounce it, goes to the Neptune, Value at Risk. I think Albert Bartlett, Adam, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he goes.
Vego Collonge. Collonge was second in a listed race last time. Robinsford, I really like that horse for next year. 7th was Thistle Crack, he won a Class 2 recently. And Native River won a listed race, and he fell in that race. So I think the quality of that race is really, really good. Really, really like Some Buckle. He's only 16-1, which I think is massive. So those would be my 3 if you want to have a bet. Calypto, Raven's Tower, but the main one is Some Buckle at 16.
I have a problem with what you just said.
What did I say? Oh dear.
You said that Raven's Tower would benefit from faster ground.
He's won on heavy. I agree.
But it's bottomless, pretty much, at Sandown.
It's good to soft from what I saw.
Well, you didn't watch the race today, though, did you, then?
No, I didn't. Good to soft, good to faces is what I've read.
They were finishing absolutely legless today at Sandown.
That was meant to be the chase course. Jamie Moore described it as, oh, it's all right in the back straight, but as soon as you go around the bend, you hit the really soft ground, and they get very tired.
I blame my informants then, unfortunately. I think 50-1 still is ridiculous. He does go on heavy ground. I just thought he would appreciate a bit better going personally, but fair enough.
He can run, which is a positive. I'm with Adam. I think Arzal's got a brilliant chance. He was very, very unlucky last time in the Betfair Hurdle, which I've been planning since the Betfair Hurdle to say that that's a much more competitive race than the Imperial Cup. But this year, I'm not sure you can actually say that all that much. The Betfair Hurdle was a decent race. The Imperial Cup is an absolutely blinding event tomorrow. Of the same mark, Paul O'Brien claiming 7 once more. If he gets a better passage than he did in the Betfair Hurdle, I think 12-1 is a huge each way price, depending on if you ask Adam what he fancies as an each way price as regards to last night's video. Of the rest, it's competitive more than a betting race. I think Arzal's the clear bet for me. West Wizard is one that I'm giving a big chance to tomorrow. I feel quite sorry for him. He was tipped up by Nicky Henson and his connections to be the next best thing. And in fairness to him, he's not put in any bad performances. He's run really well. He just hasn't really lived up to the hype. He's bumped into some really nice horses, Arzal being one of them, Jolly Allen being another one, who's third favourite for the Supreme Novices. And Manella Rocco looks a really nice recruit to the sport as well. So he could just be very unlucky that he's bumped into 3 very, very nice novices. He goes handicapping tomorrow for the first time for marker 132. If he does confirm that it's his early promise, then he could be a really attractively handicapped horse tomorrow. I think 9-1 is still a fair enough price about him. However, he will have to confirm that, and he is still very lightly raced. As for the rest, I don't know. I'm completely against Zip Top. I know Tony McCoy's doing 10 stone 5, which usually is seen as a huge positive, but he won't go on the ground. I don't think he's a hurdler, and he's got an absolute mountain to climb with not that much weight turned over from his Newcastle form with Facino Rustico. So I really don't get the facade around Zip Top tomorrow. I thought he got found out by an actual national hunt race at Newcastle, which sounds a bit weird, but he was running against genuine jumps horses instead of beating the likes of Schwayman round Fakenham. So he's actually running a national hunt course. I think Sandown will find him out tomorrow. I really cannot have him whatsoever. So the 2 for me, Arzal, and I'll give a tentative shout to West Wizard as well. Callum?
When did Jolly Allen run against West Wizard?
I think he meant Sergeant Reckless.
Yeah.
Sergeant Reckless, not Jolly Allen. Who did Jolly Allen beat?
Sempre Medici and...
Yeah, sorry, I was getting the Arzal form mixed up with... Yeah, my bad. Apologies.
Thought people, comment.
You're one to pick up on mistakes today.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought I'd be that guy. Yeah, Arzal. If I said to you last year that your Imperial Cup fantasy would be trained by a guy called Harry Whittington and ridden by a guy called Paul N. O'Brien, what would you have said?
Who?
Who?
Yeah. Just a few to touch on. Bidori, I can't really crab him, but I just don't really fancy him. I don't know why, but I think he's just been beating really poor horses very comfortably. He could absolutely bolt up. I don't think he will. Clipto have gone off the cliff. We've gone with that one. West Wizard, I wanted to see him in the EBF finals, to be honest. I think he'd had a much better chance in that than in this. Zip Top, like, that price is so bad. Like, honestly, one of the worst prices I think you'll see when you consider that Fashkina Russico absolutely thrashed him at Newcastle, and he's only off £6 better terms, and is a bigger price. And Zip Top, like, he won by 19 lengths last time out, but one of the horses that was chasing him fell at the second last, and I don't think he'd actually beaten that horse that day. So if he comes in this race not with a form figure saying he won his last race by 19 lengths, he wouldn't be 11-1 shot. So I couldn't have him whatsoever. So I like Thistle Crack. I got a cracking ride by Ruby Walsh last time at Ascot, but he's a horse who's quite high up in our ratings, and I think a strongly run 2 miles will seem to best effect. But I really like Sun Buckle's form. I agree with Michael. Only was behind Glingerburn at Doncaster. Only got beat by a short head. He was in a perfect place that day in a race that was quite slowly run, but didn't disgrace at Cheltenham last time out over 2.5. Again, he's a horse I think a strongly run 2 miles will seem to best effect. And his form with Glingerburn, who's rated 152, is very strong. So I like Sun Buckle, but it's a really good race. Sun Buckle is my first choice, and Thistle Crack and Arzal are the lesser ones, but I definitely think Sun Buckle's a good price at 14s.
Yes, it's good to see a full field as well back in the Imperial Cup after only 14 last year. The final race to cover then tomorrow is the 3:45 from Sandown, the EBF Stallions, TBA Mare Standard Open National Hunt Flat Race. That's Michael, awful. That I'm sure Callum will adore. It's a listed race over 2 miles and 110 yards. We've got a couple of Irish raiders here that are worth taking into account, with Whistle Dixie for Gordon Elliott and Babylon Daymont for Willie Mullins. Ruby Walsh taking the ride. They're 3-1 and 9-2 respectively. Callum, you're a big fan of a bumper, aren't you? You're already looking forward to the champion bumper at Cheltenham.
Yeah, they're great races, the bumpers, but this one, oh my god. What a minefield this is. Yeah, it's a really good race actually. I literally don't know where to start. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Whistle Dixie has got the best form in bumpers so far. I think deserves to be favourite, and I think she'll go really close. So I'm going to go for her. There we go.
Yeah. I found it quite hard to get through as well. Again, it's not really a betting race. It's a race I've liked throughout the years, but there's a horse that I do like in it called Lifeboat Mona. She's got a really good attitude to the Paul Nicholls yard. I've got her in my list for horses to follow next year. Whether she'd be good enough at this stage to win this kind of race, especially... Well,
I remember that horse now. Yeah, Yeah, that one. It's really good. Yeah, we were talking about... I've just remembered Lifeboat Mona. Are you surprised Mecca Nichols is on claiming 7?
Yeah, I thought if they wanted to use a claimer, they'd use Jack Sherwood or something like that. But...
Yeah.
It's a flat ride, so I think it gets her experience anyway. So
she shouldn't be 11th, though, should she?
No, I don't think she should be either. I think she's got a fantastic attitude. She really knuckles down and battles hard. She showed that at Warwick and at Huntingdon. Her only 2 starts under rules today. She beat a nice enough horse called Certi du Burles, who's run well enough since, but hasn't really franked the form. Saying that, I don't think Lifeboat Mona is ever going to be a horse that will be really, really impressive. I think she's a horse that's just going to do enough and possibly keep it to herself, which could be the kind of horse that you're going to need for a race like tomorrow. She already looks very professional and near to the finished article. However, it could just be that she bumps into a couple of nice types tomorrow. She's also got Certi du Burles, who I just mentioned in the field as well. He was bit disappointing afterwards. 25 to 1, though, maybe an each way price. Adam, your fancy for the bumper?
It's really, I'm going to echo what Callum said, it's a really good bumper, and there's a lot of these that are really nice horses. I agree with him on Whistle Dixie, she is the one to beat, has shown the best form. Copper K was an interesting runner. She was really green at Warwick when she beat Big Chief Fenny, and Big Chief Fenny didn't run as well next time out, but I think those two were nice horses in that bumper, and they came miles clear of the rest, and they weren't a bad bunch. Just as long as she isn't as green as she was last time, she'll have a part in the finish. Agree with you what you said in Lifeboat Mona. The one at a bigger price I quite like is Briary Queen, who outrun her odds to 66 to 1 at Cheltenham, where she was behind a bit of a puzzle. And I think a track like Sandown, I know it's a bumper and she'll want further when she goes over hurdles, but a track like Sandown on this ground, 2 miles, is similar ground to what it probably was on the Sunday of the Saturday of the Paddy Power meeting, I beg your pardon. And I could really see in the sailing up the hill and nabbing a place. Whistle Dixie's your winner, and Briary Queen at an each way price of 25. I wouldn't put you off an each way bet there.
Yeah, regarding Briary Queen, I met Noel Williams at Fontmore last year, but a company that I was working with, Bet Racing Nation, sponsored a race there, and one of his horses won it. He told us to watch out for a horse he's got next season called Briary Queen, and she's done well enough. She's been taking on some fairly nice rivals in the likes of a bit of a puzzle at Cheltenham. The ground tomorrow should suit her theoretically, really, but it may be a horse in time. But I agree with Adam, 16 to 1 actually is a fair price about that. Now that Michael has returned, we can get his view on the bumper.
Yeah, Adam's just stolen my each way steal. Me and Ryan actually on Harbour One. Both back Briary Queen at 100 to 1. Actually, I don't know if he actually got the money on in the end, but we really like this horse at 100 to 1. And then she goes and finishes out of the places, and even worse in 4th at Cheltenham, behind a bit of a puzzle, only beaten 5 lengths. I thought that was really good form. I watched her at Toaster, and that went well. I think she didn't benefit at Toaster last time from racing away from her main opposition, and I think she kind of threw in the towel because she thought she'd won it. She didn't. I think she would benefit from being a lot closer to her main rival, and I think, like Adam, she'll appreciate the stiff track really, and she'll go on to hopefully sneak a place. Copper Key is kind of very sentimental because I remember presenting Copper. In fact, I backed it when it beat Stevie. Awesome George at Cheltenham some year, about 6 years ago or something like that. And it
You weren't old enough to bet.
Pardon?
You weren't old enough to bet then.
No, I didn't. I mean, I told my dad to back it. Actually, I don't know if I actually did back it, or I just really like the silks. You know, obviously Martinez Maguire is in those silks, and Awesome George was ridden by Charlie Huxley, I believe, who I had a connection with at the time. Whistle Dixie, I think, deserves to be short price, but for me, it'd be somewhere between Briary Queen and Copper Key. But it's not a race you want to be seriously getting involved in, as much as most people try and see if they can get some a bank before Cheltenham, but it always seems to fail in my previous experience.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you on that one. That always fails. Very much keeping it light tomorrow. That's all the races that we've got planned to cover for tomorrow's racing. We will go on to your questions now. Dan Smith, the first one in. Thanks for getting in touch, Dan. Really likes Sun Buckle in the Imperial Cup. Looks thrown in off 135 on his form behind Glingerburn. Didn't stay last time. Which one of you was it that really fancied Sun Buckle?
I did. And Michael.
We all gave him
All of you really gave him a talk up, didn't you? So
Yeah.
I assume with that, Dan, that the panel are somewhat agreeing with you on that. Phil Dinsdale, Facino Rustica has to be overpriced at 14 to 1 in the Imperial Cup. Best bet of the day. I'm not sure about best bet of the day, but as Callum mentioned earlier on his Zip Top form, how is he a bigger price than Zip Top? It could just be that Zip Top's too short. Facino Rustica might be the right price.
Zip Top's just too short out of the two than anything.
Yeah.
Facino
Rustica's. Yeah, go on, Adam.
Price-wise, he's price-wise along with Calypso.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think 14 to 1's a fair price about Facino Rustico, personally. And then we've also got Chris Heath asking about Facino Rustico. Big price of 16's putting a line through his last run.
I wouldn't say that, and the reason I wouldn't, because he did take a bad fall, and if you watch the footage, he actually trots up in front of the car that's coming down the road. With the hood, he just thought, I don't know, I'll go and trot off the road.
Oh, he was the one that ran off into the road, did he?
Yeah, he ran off into the road, yeah. Good Luck Mirage went and jumped a fence, and I hope they never
Not
send
very
him
well,
chasing. The way he jumped that open ditch, he just launched himself at it, and somehow got over. Once he got over, it raised a smile. So, yeah.
Right, Simon Whitaker says, let's have an each way lucky 15 for Cheltenham from you. So what we're going to do, we're each going to put forward one horse, I think. He wants an each way lucky 15. I am going to put in Clean Sheet each way and then Martin Pipe.
Can I have Tell Us More 16-1 in the Supreme?
Yeah. Callum?
Black Lion, Albert Bartlett.
And Adam?
Gardner Victoire in the Coral Cup.
Right, so from me, you have Clean Sheet in the Martin Pipe. From Michael, you have Tell Us More in the Supreme. In the Albert Bartlett for Callum, you have Black Lion. And from Adam, you have Garde la Victoire in the Coral Cup. Both of them, well, all four of them actually, are very much double figures. So if you do have a 50p each way lucky 15 on that, we expect to be rewarded in some fashion, Simon, maybe. Jeff Handley tweeted in, great try for me too. Hopefully we'll stay the 20 furlongs.
Yeah.
And has plenty of potential. I think the only problem with a great try tomorrow, the only doubt I've got is that he could still be a bit babyish and still growing up and learning about his job. But I don't think the distance would be a problem. I don't think the ground would be a problem either. I really fancy him tomorrow personally. Great try. I know Adam does as well. So
he's just a stayer. He's looked to stay on all the starts. So 2.5, no issue. So, yeah.
He'll jump a fence as well. Absolutely. 100% will jump a fence. He's a typical Trevor Hemmings type. Jamie Brownlow. Yeah. Okay. Jamie Brownlow. I like Sovereign Date each way in the Wolves 215. Joe Fanning is a positive. I think that's pretty much everything that Michael summed up, being Joe Fanning being a positive and Sovereign Debt having an each way chance.
Yep.
Yeah, cheers, Michael. A proper question now for Callum. What is Callum, with 2 L's, what is Callum's Maidan masterpiece tomorrow? Hashtag Chelt Bullets.
Hashtag what?
Chelt Bullets.
Chelt Bullets?
Asking a question about Maidan.
Okay.
Different, I know.
Yeah. I'm not keen on the hashtag, unfortunately, so I'm not sure if I can answer the question.
Oh.
What does he want? Main fancy?
I assume so, yeah.
Well, that's my nap, so I might have to wait.
Well, Kai, we'll answer your question in the naps in a second then, for his best bet at Maidan. Phil Linsdale has got in touch, just looked at the Lincoln trial. Pearl Nation overpriced at 9-1. Callum, you're a fan of Pearl Nation, aren't you? Think possibly 9-1's a bit too big?
Oh, I'm a fan. To be honest, I think he needs 5% off this mark. I think he just gets a bit outpaced in his races, and he needs an emphasis on stamina. They're very much thinking of plans abroad with him. Obviously, he's owned by Chris and Martin Dixon, so kind of get to hear what they have plans for him. This has always been the plan since he won over course and distance last time, but they're going to make it a proper stamina test for him tomorrow, so I expect him to be prominent. If he's good enough, he's good enough. I just don't think I think he's just going to get a bit outpaced against this field, to be honest.
Yeah, I can perfectly see why you'd say that. We also have 2 questions in for Michael. One from Phil Dinsdale, one from Kai Wills, both asking the same thing. Why has Michael got a month's worth of toilet roll in his bedroom?
Typical.
Wait, sorry. We have a good hashtag this time from Kai Wills. He said hashtag go blind.
Oh God.
It's cheaper to buy it like that, and I also live with girls, and we get through about 1 toilet roll a day. I have no idea how, but yeah. So it's a better idea, but not saying.
That's what I wanted to know.
It's also used for recreational purposes, if that was what they were asking. If you need any more information, then please direct message me.
Yeah. If there's any houses in Leeds that get TP'd now, like I'm putting you forward as the main culprit for that. Back to horse racing. Jason Heffron's asked, on drying ground, surely Monksland goes close in a relatively wide open world hurdle.
I can't weigh him up personally.
Oh, it's impossible.
It's some of the Irish are impossible. I think he's interesting, but I can't weigh him up. He could go there and run a big race, but I
Right.
don't know.
He likes him because of the drying ground, did he say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he wanted a bog.
I don't know. He ran well enough in Simon Sigg's Neptune when he came behind Simon Sigg and Felix Younger.
I don't understand the angle that he wants good ground though.
No.
I thought he's always wanted it soft. Also, because he's had a lot of leg problems, hasn't he?
In fairness to Jason, he didn't say good ground. He just said drying ground.
That's a negative for me.
Yeah. Well, and then, like, good to soft kind. In Ireland, he's facing pretty soft ground, especially in the race behind the dig out, which for me is fairly solid form. But I do like Monksland, but very, very hard to assess his chance on the back of all the injuries that he's had. Jamie Brownlow, a Lincoln trial like Billingsgate and Mind Your Own Business. Billingsgate jockey is a £5 claim, which will help. Doesn't Billingsgate jockey only have £3 claim?
Yeah, Shane Gray has 3.
Shane Gray. Yeah, so claiming
Good
3.
rider. Good rider.
Good rider. Billingsgate, an absolute monkey though.
I don't like him. I really don't.
Like Billingsgate gives the impression that he comes into the race absolutely tanking, and he's got a lot left, and then he'll get to second, and then he'll just wouldn't fancy it. He won't go to the front. That's the only problem that I have with Billingsgate.
There was a horse at Kempton the other night that Shane Gray won on, and I'm sure
Tristan.
Callum said that's the one, Forrester. And I'm sure Callum was saying that he thought that he showed other wayward tendencies.
Well, he had.
He had.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
what I'm
only that
saying.
one run though, but since then he's looked
Oh,
very
right.
brave, professional.
Yeah.
Well, Trista was the horse that almost took out Gaelic Silver at Chelmsford.
Oh,
He did
yeah.
take out Gaelic Silver, pretty much, wasn't it? Almost.
Yeah, when I say almost took out Gaelic Silver, he almost put young Hector over the rail. Which,
No, he looks a serious horse treaster now. Really
Yeah.
serious.
well, he's going to the Winter Derby as well, so.
Yeah, on
Interesting,
ratings he's right up there. So. Yeah.
Sam Boswell has got in touch saying, does Tarabin make the Fred Winter cut, and do Bando or Zarid win the race? I don't know what number Tarabin is.
28. Hopefully. And I know Sam's got a share, so hopefully. So if she does, best of luck to you, Sam. The other two, I like one in the Fred Winter, and if we're doing a handicap video on Sunday, I will reveal all of them.
Yeah.
And it's a double figure price.
That's on me planned to anyway. Zarib, I really liked the race. I think he's got a huge chance. I don't think he's done a great deal wrong, to be honest, and they did rate him before the season started. As for Bando, I'm really not sure regarding him.
Plays my here on debut. I don't know.
Yeah. Kai Will's back in. Don Poli is my nap currently at 5-2 best price. Would you back now? If Koenigsegg goes to the Gold Cup, then his price could go off really short. Don Poli was confirmed today that he will go for the RSA over the 4-miler, which was probably inevitable, really, that we expected him to go for the RSA. I really fancied him for the RSA. Adam couldn't have him any less, which is only positive in my books.
Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore the horse, and when he won the Martin Pike, I was really taken with him, and ever since then, I've really liked him. The problem I've got is the fact he's not had a run this year, and the last horse that won without having a run in the calendar year was Arkle. Is Don Poli as good as Arkle?
Yeah, clearly.
Who's
Yeah, but the reason, we all know why he's not had the prep though. Willie Mullins wanted to keep him for the National Hunt Chase, where he could just pod round and win with Patrick on board, and Genghis Khan have said no. Second string, Mary Wood even. Don't know where Mary King came from then.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. Berry Wood. It sounds similar. Berry Wood in the white cap. I don't know where that came from then. Berry Wood in the white cap. He's interesting, and he's had a prep. So I wrote down Berry Wood.
In all seriousness, that Don Poli stat, like he ran on the 29th of December. So are you saying if he'd run 3 days after? Say on the 1st of January.
No.
No. In all seriousness, I could not oppose him on that. I have to say that's rubbish.
I'd rather him have had a run in the last month, though. I prefer a race.
I can understand that, but the stat, I just think it's pointless. It's the same with people. It's the same with people opposing Forheed because he ran on Boxing Day, and people opposing Forheed, and then you think, oh yeah, Rock on Ruby did the same like 3 years ago. So.
And
just some of the
The thing
stats are
with
just
an RSA
rubbish.
The thing with an RSA though is I always associate it with race bit horses because Don Poli's not had a run within the last 4 or 5 weeks. That's why I'd rather oppose him.
More the
my horse will
issue.
run in February.
More the issue is lack of experience for Don Poli,
That's
because
another point as well.
RSA runners, I think, generally do have a lot of experience on their back. They've had at least 3 runs. He's only had 2, so I can understand that. But running on the 29th of December to the 1st of January shouldn't make any difference. It doesn't make any difference. If he's good enough, he should win.
The one thing about Don Poli, I just think that the race is going to absolutely fall into his lap. You've got Coney going out front. You've got King's Palace that's also going to go out front. They're his main 2 rivals.
If Coney Gray runs, I mean, he's still not a certain runner, is he?
Yeah.
So, in your question, if you back in at Don Poli anti-post, I would back him now because I still think Coney Gray will go for the Gold Cup. And if he does, then Don Poli's going to be a shorter price on the day.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. It's also when I interviewed Tom Scudamore as part of a Radio Yorkshire Cheltenham preview, he said, I asked him if Coney wants to go on, will you challenge him for it? And he said, if Coney wants to go faster, then so be it, but we won't be far away from him. So I can see the RSA being suicidally run as it was last year with Anacotti and Corin Wood taking
slightly inferior horses going out in front though last year.
Anacotti's a Grade 1 winner, Callum.
Yeah.
So
some respect.
That Corin Wood is just rock solid there. Rock solid hope.
He was going into the race, to be fair.
Dan Munford's sat for the Grand National. There you go.
Corin Wood.
Yeah. Yeah, said he's nuts.
Inside information there.
Yeah.
Gary Woods and Briary Queen wins the bumper. Proper class filly for Noel Williams. We did talk up Briary Queen a little bit. And he's also requested our Maidan naps. Please can someone knock Adam Webb off the top?
Oh my god, I can't believe that last week. Jesus Christ. I'll send my Maidan nap later because I've got a nap and I need to look through Maidan properly, so...
Yeah.
Actually, no, I know what I'm going to nap. I don't care if it is a short price, but I know what I'm going to send you, Gary, so...
Tamakas.
Talking of
Tamakas, yeah. Tamakas, yeah.
Such a dog.
Talking of naps, let's do our naps right now. Adam Webb, what is your nap for tomorrow?
Going for the nap trick for the second time in 6 weeks, Moss Park. Oh.
Moss Park, alright, that's the nap trick down there. Callum, your nap.
R2 in the sprint at Maidan.
R2. That's the first time you've been with R2 this year, isn't it?
Should have been there last time with him, but I wasn't, stupidly. But
that's a very pretty face.
Taking
that answers Kai Will's question as well on Callum's best fancy at Maidan tomorrow. That is R2 in the sprint. Michael, your nap.
Yeah, just a few things. I'm just about to tweet the Cheltenham tipping competition that you can enter. Everything details is in the tweet, so that's from the On the Other Hoof account. That is being tweeted as we speak. I do have a Naughty Lucky 15 as well, which you guys have missed clearly for weeks on end. So we are going to go with Golden Spear. As I believe.
Best.
I think we're going up north for Jetmaster. That one's been featured before.
That's a poor one.
No, I think that's pretty good. The other one. There's not much to work on this week. Lifeboat Mona, which is pretty good. And then the opinion or the viewpoint of any of Luke's past or future dates. At 3 p.m. at Chepstow. What's left?
Oh, I like that one.
What's left, right?
And my nap will be. I was going to go Moss Park, but Adam's done that, so I'll go some Buckley way in the big one.
Yeah.
It'll be good to put you back on the naps table, Michael. You're still in profit, by the way, because I think we should take £1 off every time you're not on, because if you've done that, you'd be minus by now.
Yeah, we'll go for the handicapping system. Because you've been off, you lose a bit off the handicap. My nap tomorrow is coming in the second race at Sandown at 2 o'clock. I'm going to go for Great Try. I just think he's got an outstanding chance, and I think he's a decent enough price, but it's a very, very competitive race. I don't think we're going to get Callum back. He has complained to us
It's
that
still there though. But
His face
it's a nice
still there.
face. I'm not going to lie. We will be screenshotting that a bit later.
I'm doing it already.
Unless you guys already have. But thank you very much for joining us tonight. We have got a wide array of Cheltenham previews for you on our YouTube page. We did our first one covering the 4 championship races at Cheltenham next week with Nick Schofield and Sam Twiston Davis, who made a brief appearance. You can go and watch that on our YouTube page. You can also watch the Novice Chasers preview that we did with our UK's Tom Stanley. And last night we were joined by also Racing UK's Ollie Bell to preview the Novice Hurdles, which is very much worth a watch because he was a very good guest alongside us, and we put up our best bets for the Novice Hurdles. We are planning to be back on Sunday to give you our 3 best handicappers for the week. So we'll try and keep you updated about what time we're going to be live on that, because some of us, Adam, have to work on Sunday, and we will also be trying to be live each night for Cheltenham.
Because the other members of On the Other Hoof are not going to the biggest jumps festival of
Yeah.
Luke is.
Yeah. So.
Oh.
Yeah, Michael's going, and we're not.
Yeah, Michael's there working. So if you want to say hi, say hi. I'll probably be around.
How can they when you're stood in the paddock?
No, but I will be. I'll be walking through the peasant area at other points.
Oh. There'll be a riot on course now.
And likely after that, you'll be getting beaten up by the so-called peasants.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Philip.
Right. Michael, it's been nice having you back tonight. See you again in 3 months.
See you in 3 months.
If we don't see you, what's your Cheltenham nap?
My Cheltenham nap. Well, you already know that. You're asking for a specific reason, Adam. Yeah. I really want Tony Greer to go to the RSA. If he does, then yes, but without fail, Safia Derur in the World Hurdle. For my ego to be caressed unconditionally.
Well, I wasn't saying it for your ego, but yeah, when we give our Cheltenham naps on Monday night, yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah. Oh, poor Lukey.
We'll leave it there. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in.
Very quickly, we had a question. Really sorry, I've just remembered. J.K. Castle sent a question in. It's about the Champion Hurdle. What price do we think Faheen would be if a Fit My Tent or Yours lined up, and if our Connor was here?
Oh, it'd be about 9-1, I would have thought.
Yeah, I don't think that would affect his price too much because My Tent or Yours doesn't actually win.
Yeah.
When is it? When has he been out of the first 4? I would say the first 2, but then
he was 3rd in the Scottish Champion Hurdle, beaten by handicappers.
My Tent or Yours, in all seriousness, My Tent or Yours is 2nd quite a lot.
Yeah.
I still think Faheen would be a clear favourite. Whether
it really would depend how My Tent or Yours had performed this year. And for Al Connor, if Al Connor had, how close he got in the Champion Hurdle, we really don't know.
I mean, My Tent or Yours, all being well, would probably have won the fighting 5th. I don't think he'd have won the Christmas Hurdle.
Probably wouldn't have gone there.
He wouldn't have gone.
No, he wouldn't have gone.
They would have avoided each other.
One of them would have avoided each other, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't think the price would really be affected too much with Faheen. I think maybe 11-8 would be the biggest that you'd be getting. Anyway, as I was saying, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in tonight. We'll be back on Sunday evening to try and preview our 3 best handicaps. We'll keep you updated on our Twitter page at On The Other Hoof about what time we're going to be going live on that show. But thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll see you very shortly here on The Other Hoof. Have a good night. Goodbye.